Good morning, class 7. Today I am going to tell you about chapter number 2, that is animal tissues. In the previous lesson, we have learned that a tissue is a group of cells that are similar in structure and perform similar functions. Animal tissues are classified on the basis of the type of cells, amount of intercellular material, and their functions. So there are four basic type of animal tissues: epithelial tissues, muscular tissues, nervous tissues, and connective tissues. So see the first one, epithelial tissues. Epithelial tissue is made up of a continuous layer of cells that covers the outer surface of the body as well as the lining of internal organs. For example, the outer layer of the skin, inner lining of the blood vessel, and all organs such as the stomach, intestines, and windpipe are formed of epithelial tissues. Epithelial tissue is differentiated into various types. First one is squamous epithelium, second one is columnar epithelium, and the last one is cuboidal epithelium. The cells of squamous epithelium line the inner walls of the blood vessels, lungs, heart, and esophagus. The cells of columnar epithelium are found in the stomach, intestine, and pharynx. Cuboidal epithelium, they are found in the thyroid gland, kidney, tubules, salivary glands, pancreas, and liver. Functions of epithelial tissues. Epithelial tissue is a protective tissue. It covers the outer surface of the body and forms the inner lining of organs. Thus, it protects the body and the organs from injury, entry of germs, and so on. In salivary and gastric glands, the epithelial tissue is specialized to secrete enzymes that help in the digestion of food. Epithelial tissue in the sweat glands and kidneys help to remove waste products from the body. Now here is the second type of tissue, that is muscular tissue. Muscular tissues are present in every part of the body. They are involved in all kinds of movement of the body and its part. So muscular tissues are of two types: voluntary, involuntary, and cardiac muscles. Voluntary muscles, these muscles are under our control or will. For example, we can control the muscles in our arms and legs when we run, walk, or jump. Thus, the muscles attached to our arms and legs are voluntary muscles. Involuntary muscles, these muscles are not under our control or will. They are present in the internal organs of our body, such as the stomach, intestines, urinary bladder, and eyes. These cells of these involuntary muscles are spindle shaped and have only one nucleus. They do not have any bands or striations, hence these are also called unstriated muscle. The last one is cardiac muscles. The heart, which pumps blood to various parts of our body, works non-stop throughout our lifetime. It is made up of special type of involuntary muscles called cardiac muscles. Nervous tissues. Nervous tissues help in the control and coordination of the body. They are made up of long nerve cells called neurons. Each neuron has a central part called the cell body or cyton. Many thread-like branches extend from the cyton. These thread-like branches extending from all sides of the cell body are called dendrons. The information or message is transmitted by a neuron in the form of impulses and in one direction only. Many neurons or nerve fibers bound together constitute a nerve. Nerves are connected to the brain and the spinal cord. The connective tissue is different from other tissues because it has cells that are separated from each other. The space between the cells is composed of different intercellular substances that form the matrix or ground substance. The living cells produce the non-living matrix, which could be a liquid in blood, semi-liquid, connective tissue proper, or solid, that is bone. Now see the connective tissue proper. The tissue connects various parts of the body. It connects muscle to bones, bones to other bones, and gives support by filling up spaces between the organs. It is of following types, that is areolar tissue, yellow fibrous tissue, white fibrous tissue, adipose tissue. The functions of these tissues are as follows. The function of areolar tissue is it forms a continuous layer and under the skin, binding the skin with the underlying organs. Yellow fibrous tissue, it is found in the ligaments that join the bones and in the walls of the arteries. White fibrous tissue, this tissue has considerable strength and high elasticity and connects muscles to the bones. Adipose tissue, its main function is to store energy in the form of fat. It also cushions and insulates the body and provides protective padding around the organs. Skeletal tissues. Skeletal tissue is the solid connective tissue. This tissue mainly provides support to the body of vertebrates. It forms the endoskeleton, that is internal skeleton of vertebrates. Skeletal tissue is of two types, cartilage and bones. Cartilage consists of a ground substance called matrix that contains cartilage cells. This tissue is highly elastic and less hard than the bones. It helps in making the tissue flexible. It protects the bones from shocks. It occurs in the windpipe and at the end of the bones of the forelimbs and hind limbs. Bone, it is a hard tissue, harder than the cartilage. In this tissue, the ground substance or matrix is filled with cells called osteocytes and various inorganic compounds. These make the bones strong and hard. Fluid connective tissue. This tissue is of two types, blood and lymph. Blood consists of a straw-colored fluid matrix called plasma, in which three types of cells are present. They are erythrocytes, RBCs, leukocytes, WBCs, and thrombocytes, platelets. Red blood cells, these are the most abundant component of the blood. These carry oxygen and carbon dioxide to and from various parts of the body to the lungs. White blood cells or leukocytes, these provide protection from foreign bodies. Blood platelets or thrombocytes, these help in the clotting of blood. Now see the lymph. It can be called blood without the red blood cells. It surrounds the body cells. It plays a very important role in protecting the body against infection. Now the last topic of your chapter is the difference between plant tissue and animal tissue. So in plant tissues, plants are fixed so they contain supportive tissues that provide mechanical and structural strength. In animal tissues, animals move around in search of food, shelter, and so on. Therefore, they have large muscular and other tissues. In plant tissues, most of the plant tissues are dead on maturity. They do not need energy. While in animal tissues, animals contain living tissues that help them to move and utilize energy. In plant tissues, plants show growth in certain regions throughout their life. So the plant tissues are classified as meristematic and permanent tissues on the basis of their living capacity. In animal tissues, animals grow to an age after which the growth stops. Thus, there is no determination of dividing and non-dividing regions in animal.